You know, sometimes these Shudder horror comedy films, they just don't really work for me. And Destroy All Neighbors? Yeah, this film didn't work for me. Let's talk about it. Hey everyone, welcome into the channel. My name is Ryan, and today on the channel I'm going to be talking about the new Shudder horror comedy film called Destroy All Neighbors. Now this film will be premiering on the Shudder streaming service on January 12th, and I got a little bit early chance to check out this screening, and I have to thank them for sending this over to me. Now this film, it is directed by Josh Forbes, and it is about a struggling prog rock musician who's trying to make that next big album, and he's really having trouble in doing so. He has a crazy neighbor that moves in next door to him in this apartment that he lives in, and well, he accidentally kills him. The film stars Jonah Ray Rodriguez, Alex Winter, and Kiran Deol. And now in this film, this isn't a film that I actually looked into as I went to go check out this film. I really go into Shudder screenings very blind. And what I can ultimately say about this new Shudder film coming to the streaming service? It has an excellent poster, I will say that. Things that I really did like about this film is I do like the look of the apartment. I love like that dirty kind of setting. You can tell it's really run down, old looking kind of apartment, just like the different sounds they have within the actual apartment. And I do like a lot of the special effects in here, the makeup, the blood, all that kind of stuff. It's really good. All that special effects, I can really say, is really good for what they're trying to do. There's a lot of comedy in this film, and I will say that a lot of the comedy in this film does not work for me. There is a cameo in here with somebody that is a pretty famous actor, I would say. And when we have that cameo, I think it completely works. And I definitely was really laughing during those times. But unfortunately, a lot of the comedy here, it just doesn't really land for me. Shudder films with horror comedy, a lot of the times, they don't really work for me. Movies like Blood Relatives, Scare Package, those kinds of films, they usually don't work for me in the comedy bit. And here, this comedy just doesn't really ultimately work for me. I can say that this is a film that is very trippy. It has a lot of cool visuals. It's a very different film, but I'm not really sure ultimately how people are going to really take this on Shudder. I think you're going to have kind of a split audience here. I think for some people, they're going to really just love into this. Like if you like kind of crazy over the top movies like a Psycho Gorman, I think you're really going to like this. I think you're going to like the visuals. I think you're going to like just like the over the top kind of things. And there's definitely some things in here where they have some callbacks to some older horror films as well. And I think a lot of the practical effects in here you can really appreciate, and I definitely appreciated that as well. But I just think overall the story for me, it just didn't really work. I found that it was really kind of wacky. It was really hard for me to get into everything that was going on. There are a lot of crazy trippy visuals, a lot of crazy like dream scenes, lots of weird stuff. The coloring was really good in here. I really like kind of like the trippy kind of colors and such like that. That was really good. But ultimately the story and just trying to get into everything that was really going on, it was very difficult. And I can say that this is not a movie that I will probably actually go revisit, but I do think that this film, it could have a cult film following, especially like a Psycho Gorman. I really think that if you like movies like that, you're really going to like that. And if you really like comedy, I think you're going to like this as well, especially like the over-the-top kind of comedy. If you're into that kind of stuff on Shudder, you're really going to love this film. If you're looking for a lot of horror in here, I don't think it's really there. I definitely think that there's a lot of like practical effects with like the blood and everything like that, and the makeup, and just certain things that they did with actually the neighbor, Vlad. He has some really cool makeup, and he's just like over-the-top neighbor. He's making all these noises and such, and I thought he did a really good job with his character. And overall, I kind of got a little bit annoyed with him a little bit at times. So I think that really goes to the fact of how good he was really acting. So I think acting-wise, this is pretty good as well. But I think overall, the film just doesn't really work for me as a whole, and it's just something that I really can't revisit. I would give a score of this film a 2 out of 5. It's just kind of a meh film for me, but it does have a lot of elements that I really like. But I just can't ultimately say that I'm really just jumping for joy to check this film out again. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about Destroy All Neighbors? If you have checked it out, is it something that you would revisit again? Did you really like it? Did you hate it? Did you just think it was kind of meh? Let me know, all comments down in the comments section. Thank you guys for watching as always, and I will see you guys on my next review.